Hello everybody, my name is Eric with ColdJet. I'm with one of my newest customers, Water Damage Solution. I'm going to instruct them how to use the PLT60 ColdJet dry ice blaster. That is one of the safest and quickest ways to remove mold and smoke damage from homes. You guys how to set up and safely operate the ColdJet PLT60 today. We're going to start with the dry ice. This is the cooler of dry ice. 500 pounds gives you 7 days shelf life. Like normally about 5 to 6 labor hours of blasting. So you open it up, CO2 will come out, so you want to just be careful, don't stick your head in here and inhale it. Unwrap the plastic. You'll find your 3mm dry ice pellets ready to go directly into the machine after you've set it up and clean. So the first thing you guys will want to do is you'll get your air line from the air compressor. You'll bring it over here to the aftercooler. You always put this as the first piece of equipment in line. Use the whip check here just in case something was to release. Everything's just going to be a nice and tight fit with a wrench, 2 wrenches, or a wrench and a set of pliers. Nice and tight, snug fit. You'll always want the short piece of hose between the aftercooler and the machine, because this is going to take the moisture out of the air, and you want the shortest amount of distance between that and the machine. Want to make sure there's no kinks or anything in the hose. Same with these connections, you just go nice and tight. Nice and tight. And you'll come over here. Blast hose, really simple. You have a quick disconnect in and out here. Your control cables spin off. Your control cables spin off. And the power cable pulls back and snaps out. There's plastic connectors in here, so be careful you don't break those. Be careful you don't kick the cord while you're operating. Pull back, go in. You'll power on the machine. You'll see the machine start to load, like anything 0 to 100%. Just let the machine calibrate and do its thing. And now we're ready to turn the air on, put the ice in and go. Next thing is the applicator. You'll select your nozzles. You have your short nozzles that you always want set over to 3 to break the ice up, make sure it's not too aggressive on the wood. 0 is going to be for really aggressive substrates, so something like concrete removal or cleaning really tough stains off of grease, grime, dirt, off metal equipment. 3 is going to be for wood. It's going to take the light layer of wood off while getting the mold and the smoke damage off, but not take too much, so always leave it over on 3. Short nozzles for short access. Long nozzles for difficult or high beams, things like that you need to get to. You'll spin this completely out. You'll slide the nozzle in. You'll spin it tight. It can be oriented this way or flat this way depending on how you're cleaning. If you're cleaning high, you put this over on your shoulder to support it. You can go ahead and clean. If you're cleaning low on the ground, feel free to do so. It just makes it easier to have the nozzle and everything pointed directly where you want it at the same time. Function of the gun, you have 1. This is an air only mode. If you need to blow things off or dust them off before you clean them, feel free to. Click it off for safe. You click over 2, this is dry ice. This is going to be dry ice and air for the cleaning. Click it off and it's safe to hand to other people. 1, this is an air only mode. If you need to blow things off or dust them off before you clean them, feel free to. Click it off for safe. You click over 2, this is dry ice. This is going to be dry ice and air for the cleaning. Click it off and it's safe to hand to other people. Here's an LED light with 3 stages, depending on where you guys are. The trigger has an up and in. It's a 2-step function with a 1-second delay. So you go up and in. There's 1 second after you pull the trigger delay from when ice comes out, and then also when you let go from when ice stops coming out. So always be aware of that. When you come over to the machine, you'll see the screen. You have some option, pounds per minute and PSI. For you guys, you're going to want to be at about 2 pounds per minute and between 40 and 50 PSI. You make those selections with this dial by just coming over here, pushing the dial, and then adjusting the air. If anything happens and you need to stop the machine for any reason or stop the operator, there's an e-stop button here. Push the button, the machine will go into a safe mode, the applicator will no longer blast. When you guys are ready to continue, and reset the machine. It'll load back to 100 and it is ready to go. Come over here to the machine. This is where you'll dump ice into the machine. You'll see the seal here. You want to make sure you keep any debris out of the machine. Keep it closed while you're blasting so nothing gets in there. If something happens, you can open this grate to clear debris or to clear ice out. Never do it with a screwdriver or anything metal. You will damage the feeder system in here and it will be expensive. You will damage the feeder system in here and it will be expensive. When you're done, you close this grate. You come back over here and you'll push the button. Lifting the lid does not activate this, but lifting the grate will activate the safety switch. Sorry. So once you have everything set up and you're ready to go, you'll take your dry ice, you'll put it in the machine, and you'll get to cleaning.
So can you tell us again, what is this for?
Yes, I'll go over it. So this is the aftercooler unit. This is the unit that's going to separate water from the compressed air. So this unit, you have water traps. You have two knobs here to release the water that's caught in this coalescing filter. This is the throttle for the aftercooler. It's completely pneumatic. It is air controlled. There's no power. So it's feeding air. Pull this up, turn it to the right. You can turn it up higher if you need to take more water out of the air. Or you can turn it lower if you don't need to. The maintenance item on this one is there's oil right here with the tag, the type of oil you need to put in. Just make sure this is full periodically. Check it once a month. This will be the lube to use when this gets low. The machine came with a bottle. If it gets low to a quarter, reach out to Cold Jet, order another bottle, or find it locally, whatever's easiest for you. So now that we have the aftercooler working, we're going to go check to see how much moisture is being pulled out of the air to see if we need to make any adjustments. Always make sure you unwrap this hose, make sure it doesn't kink. It's not like a rubber garden hose where it will unkink. If the machine kinks, it will damage and start to tear. So we'll come over here, go to the ice function, and we're going to check to see how much air is coming in, or how much water is in the air. See here, we had no extra moisture coming out of the nozzle, so we know it's capturing all the air, or all the water out of the compressed air. Go ahead, we can situate it on a cart. The machine does have arms you can pull out here, like R2-D2. Feel free to rest the machine on this. It's completely safe, completely comfortable. Before we get blasting, I'm going to go over PPE for the machine, so I'm going to go ahead and get my safety glasses and hearing protection out of the van. So for this machine, we always recommend hearing protection, eye protection, and gloves at a minimum. These gloves are like a cotton type mechanic glove with a rubber coating on the side. You have to have some sort of rubber coating or a leather woodworking glove to provide you protection from the temperature of the dry ice. Latex gloves will not do anything to the temperature of dry ice and will burn your hand within 3 seconds. So come over here to our plastic scoop. We always want to use a plastic scoop because a metal scoop can get cold if it gets left in here and accidentally freeze to the hand. So I always recommend a plastic food grade scoop to keep with the kit. Get a good healthy scoop of dry ice. Make sure the area here where it seals is clean so no contaminants get in it. Close the door. Put the plastic back over the ice. Wrap it up nice. Push it down. Put a moving blanket on top of it. That will give you an extra couple days shelf life. Close it. here. Do nice, even strokes. You don't want to scrub the equipment. Give you nice, even layers of cleaning. Now that's with the pellets over here, make sure they're being broken up. I'm going to show you what happens if you accidentally leave it at 0. It can be a little aggressive for the wood. You'll see here, it's actually creating an indent in the wood. So this may be a little more than you guys want to take out for smoke. So always leave this knob at 3 and feel free to adjust the air pressure on the machine up or down. Here, we want to take more wood out. We can come up. We can go to 60 psi. Start with 10 psi increments. Come back over to what we're cleaning. Indent it like it did with the full pellets here. So that's the difference between having this at 3 and 0 is going to be safe, not safe. So now I've put the machine at 120 psi, the maximum our compressor over there can do, just to give everyone an idea of what the machine's full capacity can do. So I'm going to take this off of 3, put it at 0 so it's full pellets. We have the max amount of air the compressor can allow, so I'll show you guys what it'll do. Again, here the difference is there's actually a level difference, and you can see this has these pock marks because the pellets are a bigger media size. They are too aggressive to go into this wood. So even with that much psi, if you flip it over to 3 to break the pellets up, the wood. So again, always leave this on 3 when you're cleaning wood and adjust the air pressure between 40 to 70 psi depending on the removal of the substrate. When you're done, the biggest piece for the machine, use all the ice. What happens is the ice causes temperature change, brings condensation, and the ice will break up. So if you're going to go through longer than 30-minute lunch or a 30-minute lunch, use all the ice. You don't have to fill up the 60-pound capacity every time you use it. If you know you have lunch in 10 or 15 minutes, just put a scoop, maybe 2 scoops in, use it, and then go to lunch. If you know you're getting close, make sure you use all the ice for the end of the day, and then you'll turn the air off, turn the machine off, and it'll auto-bleed itself. And then you'll disconnect everything, you can wrap it up, put it on top, or put it on these R2D2 arms.